Christopher Dring, all right, comes out here, has his report that he wants to put out. Okay. So it says terrible launch for Call of Duty Black Ops 7 in Europe. The game sold 63% fewer copies at launch compared with Battlefield 6. It's also more than 60% down over last year's Black Ops 7. I'm sorry, Black Ops 6, digital and physical sales, right? And then you come in here and he has the story, but then there's a couple of things that are a little weird or random when you look at it. So Call of Duty Black Ops 7 European launch sales are 63% down over Battlefield 6. They says it had a disappointing European launch. Its opening week sales are 63% below what Battlefield 6 managed during its debut week in October. Based on our estimates, the game is also down by more than 50% over last year's Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This data is courtesy of GSD. I don't know who that is, but they track digital and physical sales across Europe. The data does not include downloads via subscription services. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is included in the Game Pass subscription service, while Battlefield 6 is not. Therefore, the actual player count will be much higher. Yes, and so will spending on skins and other microtransactions, right? Call of Duty has faced stiff competition this year. According to NPR analysis, over 25% of Call of Duty players in September picked up Battlefield 6 in October. The new Black Ops 7 has also received low user scores. Behind Call of Duty in second place is another new release from Ubisoft. Okay, cool. All this is great, right? So you hear that and you're like, oh, damn. So it must be getting slapped up, right? Okay, cool. Except you go to the European top 10 units sold. It's Call of Duty. Right. So Battlefield 6 had a great launch week, but now it's at number 4. Right. So what does that mean? Who knows? But it's still number 1. And then with revenue, still number 1. Right. So as much as that helped all those people, right? All those people who bought Battlefield 6 that first week, that was so much more than Call of Duty. Those people were not buying enough microtransactions. They're not spending enough money to dethrone Call of Duty, which is interesting. That's Call of Duty's first week. So, but the other thing here, right? And this is where I was confused, but somebody kind of caught this. So I want to hear what you say about this, Harky, because I don't know if I'm understanding it correctly, right? So if you see this down here, it says these charts cover physical and digital game sales across all these places. It covers all physical game sales, but digital game sales from these companies, Activision, Blizzard, and then other ones, right? So what does that mean? It covers all physical game sales, but digital game sales from these companies. Activision, Blizzard, just the reason why we're stuck on that is because that's Call of Duty. So
right, so it's saying that it doesn't cover digital game sales from the ones that aren't listed here. So the ones that are listed here, it also includes the digital game sales. So
it says also, or just the one?
Yeah, so
that's why I'm confused.
Yeah, it covers every physical
sale. All physical,
no matter who the publisher is, but digital game sales from these companies.
Gotcha. Okay, but digital game sales from these companies. So these are the
for instance, I don't see Nintendo in here. They don't count their digital sales, etc. Right. So there'll be other companies that don't count them, but for these ones they do. So
gotcha.
Cool.
Gotcha. So so Call of Duty Black Ops 7 in Europe supposedly had a lower launch than it did itself and before, and it's just like that's
based on our estimates,
which is
down by 50% over last year. The 63% is below Battlefield 6. But we don't really know because do we really know the numbers? So I don't know where we're getting that. I don't know. So is that GSD is reporting that it's 63% below last year's Call of Duty or 63% below Battlefield 6 in the European theater. Is that what they're saying? I don't know what they're saying here. So this is just going to be something.
So that's the thing. Now, again, obviously we know that Game Pass is going to be a huge chunk of players playing Call of Duty through Game Pass. But
and I don't know why they're bothering to compare with Battlefield 6. The obvious thing that's taking up time, if you just look at your freaking friend list, it's Arc Raiders. It's like killing it right now. It's not even Battlefield 6. People just want to keep saying Battlefield 6 somehow is doing anything to Call of Duty. It's Arc Raiders. I went and checked the day freaking Call of Duty came out. And it's like, oh, who's playing Call of Duty? No, they're all playing Arc Raiders. I'm like, okay, it tells you something.
Call of Duty, like they're saying here, again, it was lower than before or whatever the fuck. And it's like, guys, who cares? Number one. Number two, Call of Duty has been the number one game every year for like God knows how many years, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if it doesn't this year versus last year, it don't matter. Like,
it's gonna be
still 50%. It's still doing better.
Yeah,
it's too early to tell.
That's the right answer. Is we don't know. Let's just let the numbers come out. Yeah. I hear this all the time. It's like, let the numbers come out.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, that's the thing they want to go to, and they want to talk about it like, oh my God, it's cooked, it's screwed, Call of Duty's done, blah blah blah. It's funny because we were playing it last night on the stream and had zero problem getting into matches, whereas when that free to play battle royale red sec mode came out for Battlefield 6, we also did a stream, and during that stream it took us forever to get into matches, and we had to get out and go back in and do all this other shit. So I don't think that's a good way to look at it overall, but either way, but the reason that this has a kind of eye on it is because of the other side of the spectrum, which is Battlefield 6, right? So Battlefield 6 has announced that Battlefield 6 had the biggest launch month in terms of revenue of any game in the last 3 years. The only game to beat it is 2022's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So then it's not the last 3 years, right? Can you just say what it is? The last 2 years or 2.5 years, right? It's not 3 years. 3 years Call of Duty came out. And apparently that's the one that slapped it up. But Matt Piscatella says Battlefield 6 debuted as the best-selling game of 2025 year to date. So during the launch month, I'm assuming, because he didn't talk about this the week after, right? So this has to be the month of October, or maybe up to like last week or whatever. I don't know. They don't really say. But it debuted as the best-selling game of 2025 year to date, which good for them, right? Finally, fucking releasing a game that people have an interest in. Battlefield 6 is currently the best-selling game of 2025 on both the Xbox and PC aggregated storefront charts, while ranking second year to date on PlayStation, behind only NBA 2K26. I think that right there is pretty damning for its numbers. And I don't know if you guys, when you hear it, hear the same thing, but if on PlayStation you're not beating NBA 2K26, and every year Call of Duty beats NBA 2K, that's probably not a good sign for what the real numbers actually mean.
I'm reading that it's the best-selling game, but there's one platform where it's not the best-selling game. That's how I'm reading it. Because that means it did really well on PC, did really well on Xbox, but not so much on PlayStation. Just saying.
Well, it's second on PlayStation, right? So, but the thing is that's fine, but we've seen.
Look at that. It's NBA 2K.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a big game, but where is that focused? Do you think that's focused in Europe? Do you think that's focused in Asia? It's focused in the US.
Of course.
And if that one game beats it on that platform, A, that means no game is really doing that well on that platform. But B,
that's the bigger thing. And honestly, it's not like to be fair, I don't necessarily know if it's just that platform. If you go based off of like when we saw Astrobot, right, was number 1 in that month or whatever, and people were going crazy about it, right? And it's like cool, like Battlefield 6 might be the biggest selling game of the year, right? But like fucking Forza was like the biggest selling game of the year for PlayStation for the longest time. You know what I'm saying? Like Forza Horizon 5. So
yeah,
it's like the question is, what is that bar that has to be crossed, right? Because being the best-selling game, one game could have sold 10 million and this could have sold 10 million, 200. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the bar that it's being, that it's crossing?
yeah,
right.
It'd be nice to know those kind of numbers. And this is US only, right? So let's be fair to that too. This is US only.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we'll see.
It's funny how he's not talking bad about Call of Duty in the US.
Well, because Call of Duty isn't in the month of October. This is most likely all October, and that number gets crunched, and then you get it in November. So Call of Duty just came out, right? So you will get that number coming up in the next month or so.
Demo. I think we're hearing
we'll get that.
A lot of sound coming from your mic. Like there's a bunch of people talking.
Okay, hold on. Well, give me a second. It's my game. Is it better now? Yeah, because I have family over here. It's better?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
okay, that was my game. It was turned out all the way. I'm sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, no worries. All right. So, all right. Well, the other thing he says here is Battlefield 6 produced the highest single month U.S. physical and digital full game track dollar sales total in 3 years. The last title to generate a larger full game track dollar sales total in a single month was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in October 2022. And then Battlefield 6 launched as the best-selling game in franchise history with its October 2025 volume surpassing the lifetime sales total of the previous record holder, Battlefield 1. That's impressive for itself. Launching as the best-selling game of the year, that's cool, but that has more to say about how much other games sold this year than how good Battlefield 6 sold. But the basically doing more than the entirety of Battlefield 1, I mean, that's pretty good. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. It's funny because in my opinion, I think, and I was saying earlier today, I think I posted this on Twitter, somebody commented, it's like, I feel like Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and even Battlefield 1 were better games than Battlefield 6. And they didn't get as much praise as Battlefield 6 is getting. In fact, people didn't care about it too much. Everybody will go to your to your post or whatever and talk about how Call of Duty was so much better, right? And it only took Call of Duty to fuck up in a couple of things. A lot throughout the years, right? So that people finally understood that Battlefield was a good game. And I think it's just like a matter of fatigue. Call of Duty comes out every year. A lot of people are dunking on Call of Duty, even though this Call of Duty is actually pretty good. And it's just like, I feel like our communities, they pick sides, and then when it's time to when it's cool. When it's cool to hate on a game, they go ahead and hate on the game. When it's cool to praise the game, they go ahead and do so. And you got all these Battlefield, Battle Dads, whatever. telling you how cool Battlefield is, and I tried it, and there's plenty of problems in Battlefield 2. There's plenty of problems on Call of Duty as well. So they're not perfect, and they totally different from each other. Now I believe that these sales are good, for Battlefield, especially because I don't know if you guys remember, we talked about it here in the show that EA wanted to crazy as 100 million players or something. Like they wanted Battlefield to reach 100 million players. And look, they on a nice track. They are, getting more players as they were getting in the past. But I don't think they're nowhere near that number, you know. But eventually, if the games continue to be updated, and from here to 5, 6 years, maybe you'll probably, can achieve it. Now the thing is, this is good for Battlefield. They really needed this W, and you know why? Because uh, Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 2042 were terrible, both of them. And they were like losing for so long that this looks like a big win. When, in my opinion, just like a step in the right direction after so many fuck ups. Now, Call of Duty is in the same sort of situation, but the funny part is that Call of Duty uh, you know, messed up as well, right? And now this one is a step in the right direction, and people are not noticing. So both things are literally in the same situation when it comes to, like, whether the games are good or bad. I feel like they're both very balanced. It's just like what people are so sick of Call of Duty winning that they want Battlefield to win. That's fair. The other thing is Call of Duty now is not just Call of Duty. Call of Duty is Microsoft. Call of Duty is Xbox. So that brings a lot of like talking points about Call of Duty that I don't even think they should be in the conversation. Like, what's happening to the budget of Call of Duty? Have they decreased the budget? And what is Microsoft doing when Microsoft don't do shit? The ones that do are Treyarch, Infinity Warfare, whatever, and all these other studios that work on Call of Duty. So when you think about it, I feel like Call of Duty is being looked at through a microscope. And that's fair because for many years, Call of Duty was sort of the same. But this one time, they do something different and everybody flips. So it's like, I feel like the player base is conflicted. They don't know what they want. It's the same thing with Halo. They want Halo to be the same. They want Halo 6 or 7, whatever the fuck they're making, to be Halo 3 again, right? And they want Call of Duty to be Modern Warfare 2 again. And it's just like, come on, guys. Like, games have to evolve. Otherwise, we get the same game every year, and you are gonna like hate on the developers as well. Matter of fact, this is good that we see in this competition because it's pushing Call of Duty to do so much better, like quicker updates. Like, the balance update just dropped. They just eliminated the fact that you had to go through the campaign, so they enable in-game from the get-go if you really want to play that way. If you finish the campaign and you just wanted to play in-game and you already finished, you get double XP and you get many other things that they're doing. They balance the weapons already. They balance the gadgets. The game only has been out for a week. It already had a patch, and a big one. So it's like, okay, I don't want to praise Activision too much because it could get out of hand because they have a history of doing whatever the hell they want and not listening. But the fact that Battlefield is doing good now is pushing them to be like, okay, look, why don't we do like Battlefield and we listen? You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is, when it comes to the sales, guys, think about it. Battlefield, do they sell skins like that? What skins do they have? Because I'm not gonna lie. I'm a true Battlefield fanboy that literally grew up playing Battlefield as my favorite shooter with Halo, right? So to me, Call of Duty was dead when I was playing Battlefield 4. I wasn't playing Call of Duty when I was playing Battlefield 3. I wasn't playing Call of Duty Bad Company. I didn't even think about Call of Duty, right? But looking at it for what they have in the store right now is extremely boring. I know that's what the battle dads and the community want. They want these boring skins. But be honest with yourself. Who's going to buy them? So when it comes to monetization, let's keep it real. Battlefield has a big issue because it's going to be extremely hard for people to go ahead and buy these skins. And I don't want to sound like I'm defending Battlefield, Call of Duty. But like y'all, I'm talking about the finances, right? We got to talk about all, right? And the skins and the content and the things that they sell in the store, microtransactions, are a big part of how much money these two games make. And Battlefield story is literally dead. I do own Battlefield. I have plenty of hours in there. I was the other day streaming the campaign. I play with my friends here and there. But Call of Duty, when it comes to all that content, I think they are gonna be able to attract more people if they don't really go over the top. So maybe Battlefield is gonna sell more copies and more people are gonna buy the game. But I think that throughout the year, a lot of people are going to stick to Call of Duty, and it's because the content of Call of Duty. Call of Duty throughout the year has heavy content, dude. Like season 1 is dropping, then they're going to go ahead and a Warzone update, and then another season and another season. And look, I don't think that Battlefield devs are ready to give you the amounts of content that Call of Duty drops. Whether it be good, bad, or shit, you can't deny that Call of Duty is dropping content constantly. And that's one thing that live service games and multiplayer games suffer from. If you don't have the content, how in the hell are you going to make the money? And look, now the skins in Battlefield are grounded and they're very serious. But when they start seeing that these skins don't sell, what do you think they're going to do? I wouldn't be surprised if I see behaviors and Butthead or something running around in Battlefield, maybe a collaboration with some movie or whatever. I don't know, Back to the Future, maybe some other shit. I don't know. But they definitely need to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, season that a little bit so that more players can join. Now, it's not an issue because I played Battlefield for years and I never, ever bought a skin. Never ever bought a skin. I always unlocked everything. The same with Call of Duty. I bought a bundle, the last Call of Duty or some other shit that came with the Vault Edition. After that, I bought one bundle that was like the lizard that changed the colors and shit. That was it. I didn't spend no more money in Call of Duty. A Battlefield, people are not used to buying skins and stuff. So when it comes to like how much money these are gonna make, it's gonna be super interesting to see one game selling a lot more than the other one, and the other one perhaps making more money than the one who sold more. So at the end of the day, I don't even think they give a shit about it. All they want to see is the cash flowing. And at the end of the day, that's the bottom line. Listen, Battlefield, amazing. Call of Duty, very, very, very good this year. A step in the right direction. Okay, yeah, the campaign, batshit crazy. A lot of people didn't like it. For sure. But it is entertaining. And the multiplayer, I go online every day and I see people excited about playing Call of Duty. But permanent lobbies are back. So people talk shit to each other in Call of Duty. That's something that they have brought back that we couldn't do before. So it's spicy. You know what I mean? It's entertaining. The same with Battlefield. I think they're both doing a good job. Just one is like getting praise for the same things that the other one is getting like trash for. So it's crazy. So looking at it from a real neutral point of view, I think both games did very good this year, with the exception of Call of Duty campaign. I think they fumbled the bag in that one. They went too crazy. And look, it's not that I don't like it, but the general opinion on it, they didn't accept it the way.
But it's the same. But the thing is fuck that shit. Like fuck those people who are saying that, because those people are being like, I don't know the word for it, but like they're trying to force Call of Duty to be something that they claim they want it to be. Yet even if it did those things, they would bitch and moan about it, right? Complainers are complainers, and that's all they like to do. And that's you're never gonna get me to side with any of these people talking shit, because they fucking took away the fucking one thing I wanted, was the announcement that I could take my Battlefield, my Black Ops 6 skins and move it to Black Ops 7. And now it's fucking gone because of these pussies out here crying. You know what? That fucking campaign is fucking fun as fuck. It's dope. It has great cutscenes. Is it the same shit that they've always done? No. But guess what? If it was, then what would they say, Demo?
Oh, it's the same shit every year.
Shit that they've done. How many times can I put on my armies to tell you something's bad happening to this military's troops over here? We got to go save them. Oh, wow. So exciting, Battlefield. This is so exciting that I get to do the same military shit that I've done for 20 fucking years. I think that the true gamers are excited to have different experiences.
Yeah.
These dudes that think these wannabe boot camp motherfuckers who couldn't make it, right? These dudes who live in the basement, like, I could have been in the military, so they want to go and pretend. They get on their fucking war paint on their fucking face, and they sit there and they say, yes, I'm in the military while I'm playing this game. That's me. I'm a military fighter now, and I'm this realistic simulation. Bro, it's a game. No matter what, you get shot, you don't die, you're not in the military. Just stop. It's a video game. There's nothing real about it. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Before coming up, yes. Battlefield and Call of Duty did the nitty-gritty realism. Why? Because every game, every generation, they were able to push more realism. So graphically, they were able to do it. So they wanted to capture what it was like for true to life looking military game. And guess what? They both have accomplished that already. They've both already climbed the mountaintop. What's that military the Call of Duty that had man, it was really good acting. Was it World War II or World War One or some shit? It was just like it was
World War II, what a word. Yeah, all of those.
Yeah, no, that guy from he's a big actor. I forget his name. I don't know. It was a really, really realistic looking war game. It was boots on the ground, all this bullshit. It was fantastic, right? And I feel like with the combination of the acting that they did in the game itself, they did it. They did it. It was phenomenal. How many times do I need to see and experience the same shit? Bro, we're to the point where little studios can do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't need Battlefield to play realistic military shooters now. You don't need Call of Duty to do that. So what can they do different? What can all the money that Battlefield and Call of Duty have, what can they do different? And that's what Call of Duty's doing, right? Call of Duty's always switching it up. They're pushing, they're doing crazy shit. Last year's campaign was one of the best gaming campaigns that I've played. The what they nailed it. It was phenomenal. Yes, World War II, Infinity Nerd, the third one. He said World at War Ghosts and WW2. That one. WW2, World War II, that shit was, the story was amazing. That campaign, all boots on the ground, military shit, so well done. But Call of Duty keeps it going, right? They come out with a Call of Duty every fucking year. They're doing different shit. Now, obviously, that's the shit that some people are trying to say, which, like, number one, I don't know if how genuine they actually are being, because like, especially somebody like this, right? So Tom Henderson wrote this: Call of Duty is failing now because it's an annual release and they push their teams to hell and back to get a Call of Duty out the door. I don't think they'll change that until there's several consecutive bad years, but COD really does need a break, in my opinion, for players and devs. Bro, come on, man. Do you not know that there's 3 main devs working on this and they're on a 3-year cycle? Some games get longer. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that
they act like it's like one studio
yearly release, like a Madden, right? Madden is a yearly release. That same team who worked on Madden this year is working on next year's and working on the year after that. And that's what they do. And even then, they have silo teams, smaller teams that go off and work on long-term, goals and long-term projects that they're planning games ahead, right? But still, Call of Duty has multiple teams. So let's stop the bullshit and pretending that, oh man, they need to stop because it's too much. Bro, they've been doing it for over 20 years, my dude.
I think, CMoney, that this is what's happening. I think a lot of people hold a grudge against Activision. And Look, that's fair. For a long time they felt like they were being milked, right? By Activision, and that's fair. But I don't think this is the case with this Call of Duty. I think they did a good job, except for the campaign. And the reason that I'm saying that the campaign is not the best, it's not because I didn't like it, because like you said, it was fun. I like going through these maps. I I also like the fact that they were showing the multiplayer maps that they were gonna play in the multiplayer during the campaign, because I thought that was a nice touch. Some people thought that was them recycling content, and that's the thing. They're looking at it from a point of view in which they are mad already at Activision. This is not about the game. A lot of people blindly are saying Call of Duty this year is bad, and I'm like, did you play? Like, Seen Potato. I don't know if you've seen that dude in Twitter.
Nope.
He had like a 5,000 word review of Call of Duty, and he put up 4 screenshots. Not one piece of gameplay. So you cannot give me a review of a game in 2025 with 4 screenshots and 5,000 words. I'm sorry, bro. You at least needed to show a couple of clips of you playing, doing your thing in multiplayer, couple of clips of you playing zombies, and couple of clips you playing campaign. You didn't give me that. How can I believe that you actually play it and you didn't just go on Chat GPT and ask for the review based on general opinion on Call of Duty Black Ops 7? You have to like show up, bro. You can't just go ahead and be like, oh, I'm gonna talk shit about Call of Duty because I hate them,
if you're
or because of what they did
it,
last year, or because of what they did 2 years ago in that Call of Duty that they fucked up, like Modern Warfare 2. That I thought it was
if you're talking shit about it, nobody will question you. You could, whatever you write, as long as it's negative about Call of Duty,
nobody's gonna question you. And that's a fact.
Same way when you talk shit about Xbox, these people don't question you. They just assume what you're saying is true and they run with all of the bullshit, right?
Yep.
Like that
selective
is the reality.
Narratives, selective narrative syndrome.
Exactly. And what all these people are choosing to ignore is that they are putting Call of Duty day and date in fucking Game Pass. Yep. And you know what? I showed you on his chart with Game Pass. Okay, with Game Pass not included in their numbers, they were still number one. They were still number one the week in Europe where it released.
That's another thing
shit about it, but it's still number one.
That's another thing. They're talking about sales, but Call of Duty's on Game Pass. We don't bro. All the people that I play with that are on PC, then they didn't buy it. They play off of Game Pass, and that's the beauty of it. And then, like, I got people who play off of Game Pass, and they're telling me, I don't understand why they put this in Game Pass. I bet Microsoft is losing money. I'm like, who gives a shit? And you playing, and you playing for $15, and if you want it, you could buy it at a discount. Maybe you want to play for 2 hours. Call of Duty is not worth it this year. Whatever. I'm not gonna touch it anymore. Did you imagine swallowing up $70 over something that you're not gonna do? That's like throwing money to a stripper. At least you get to see some booty in your life, but like throwing money at a game and getting nothing out of it, it's like dumb as hell. So they gotta stop with all these narratives about like they're not making money.
Dude, bro, what do we see every week? Every week the numbers come out. What is the most played game? Every week it's either one of two options and only the two. It's either Call of Duty or Fortnite.
Yep.
52 weeks out of the year, Call of Duty or Fortnite. Let me tell you a secret. Battlefield, when do you think, if you had a guess, when's the next Battlefield going to come out?
Oh, shoot. I was saying like the next 5 years. The way that they want to milk this one.
Next 5 years or so, right?
I would say 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5.
Okay, let's go short. 3. Let's say 3 years is going to take for a new Battlefield to come out. Okay. This is what they don't understand. And this is why they can never dethrone Call of Duty. Because Call of Duty is not one game. Call of Duty is every game they release. Right now, people are playing Black Ops 7, but they're also, you can load it up right now, still playing Black Ops 6.
Mhm.
You can also go back to the game before Black Ops 6 and get in a game like that because there's still people playing the game before that one.
I was playing Cold
Modern
War
Warfare
the other
3.
day. I was playing Cold War. Cold War came out like before the pandemic, and I was playing it like nothing. Like
yo,
there was a lot of people
like,
playing. That's crazy.
The shit is that every week people are choosing to play a Call of Duty. It doesn't matter which one. It doesn't matter which one. And you know what? Next year, when there's no new Battlefield, you know what there will be?
Call of Duty.
Another new Call of Duty. Another new Call of Duty. And the year after that, and the year after that. So between 3 to 5 years is the next Battlefield. Well, what we really should count it is between the next 3 to 5 Call of Duties, are you going to get one other Battlefield? You know what I'm saying?
Real
the
life.
idea is just so stupid.
Listen, real life algorithm. CMoney, you stop uploading videos for a week. You stop doing shows. Are you gonna keep the same viewers, or a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, CMoney not doing this no more, I'm not gonna show up anymore. Maybe I'll see him later. They're gonna lose track of you. But if you stay relevant and you always show people what you're doing in real life, they're gonna have a hard time forgetting about you. And that's why Call of Duty might flop this year, but the next year could be a success. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy shit is flopping for Call of Duty still puts it at number one.
No, flopping for Call of Duty. Every game out there would love to flop like Call of Duty. Straight up. If this is a flop, a lot of games would love to flop like this. Because I mean, even though it's like, I don't know, what was it, like a 7 plays on PC that nobody plays on PC or whatever. But I mean, come on, man. Every year they're gonna make up for it. And look, it's like a season. 1 year you could be good. The next year they try something stupid and people didn't like it. Maybe they fuck up, but they got 1 year that they can always make a comeback. Anyways, man, it is what it is. I love both games. I can play both games with my eyes closed. I play Battlefield when I have a lot of friends online playing Battlefield and they want to play Battlefield squad up. And I play Call of Duty when I'm by myself and also when I'm with friends, because they two different games for two different moods. So there you have it, man. I love Call of Duty. I'm loving it. I'm already close to Prestige 2 already. And I have no time. Yeah.
Holy shit. What number is what's the tier? Like, what level do you have to be to do your first Prestige?
56.
All right, so I'm at like 41 or some shit. All right.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. Yeah,
it's crazy. Hargi, how you play? I don't know where Hargi go, but have you played the campaign or something? I don't know. You like the campaigns and stuff. Like, what do you think about it?
Well, so first, the whole thing started with Battlefield 6. So first thing, Battlefield 6, congratulations to the team.
Yeah, for sure.
They did a great job. That's awesome news. Keep up the good work. Hopefully they continue to do well. But you do have points there as far as, demo, as far as them having content. We shall see. We'll see how that keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
If the game has legs, that's fantastic. If it doesn't, that's too bad. But as I was saying, our creator seems to have also taken up a lot of oxygen.
Yeah.
It seems to be pretty big out there. But either way, going into sort of the Call of Duty part of this, look, we don't know what the numbers are because it just came out. We will find out over time what happens. The usual thing happens is like people start getting into the Call of Duty phase when we get to Thanksgiving. And then like it will just kind of get there. People will start playing and whatever. I'm not worried about it. It'll do its numbers. I don't care. As far as the campaign, I am annoyed because it has this weirdo way in doing the campaign where there's no checkpoints. You are in a lobby and I'm like, okay, what the heck are you guys doing? So it's a little bit annoying to me, but I don't know. Maybe I can find some
it's multiplayer. It's a multiplayer campaign.
Yeah,
I don't care about the excuses. It's bullshit. It should not be that way.
No, I'm not excusing it. I'm saying that they did.
I don't care.
They did design it that way, and even when you play the game, and again, like, listen, I enjoy the shit out of the campaign. Like, I enjoy playing the game. I understand no checkpoints if you want to stop playing in the middle of a mission. I don't ever.
Because I'm used to that. Right?
They're not the longest, so like the missions are not super long. But I do feel like
they're long enough that like if you have like a thing you got to go do, like my nephew runs in, like, okay, I can't pause. Okay, now what? So, and I multiple times have to restart just because I like had to go do something else, and I'm like, this is stupid. I'm so used to like,
I mean, I guess if I had
go away,
experienced it,
I
might
can
have
quick
been
resume back.
might have been something else for sure. But what I will say is that
I'm disappointed.
The one thing I don't appreciate is that they went so far into the idea of the multiplayer campaign that these motherfuckers, like, the story is happening as if they're right there with you, but you look around and they ain't nobody there. There's no bots. Like, they didn't put the other characters in the game.
Where's my, my entire
wild.
team is gone? Like, what are you doing?
I guess the way they're looking at it is like, if you want to play Call of Duty as a single player game, you don't want to have the other people taking your kills or doing that shit, right? So you want to go and play it as a single player experience. So they delete that. So I understand why, but they didn't change the story or do it in any, like, they literally make it like they're there with you, but they're invisible. You know what I'm saying?
The good news though, guys, they working on it. They looking, they listening, and they posting on Twitter and stuff saying like the things that they're looking at. So that was one of the things that they're looking at. They're looking at maybe
I want them to
finding a way to do it flying.
Make it better for me.
But RC Polygons, real quick, to your point, Hargy, he does give you the other reason. I know you're saying it doesn't matter the reason, but cross progression means that you need to be online so you get the skins and the weapon unlock. So
I don't care about online.
It is cross progression to everything. So it's monitoring you just like when you're playing multiplayer, because everything you do in single player still counts to multiplayer. So that's where
and that's all fine. I don't care about the online. I care about the checkpoints. I care about being able to say, hey, I finished this part of it. Cool. I can quit, come back, and I'll be right there. Right. But now it's do the whole mission again. Anyway. So whatever, they can hopefully fix that and give you at least like a couple of checkpoints within each mission, right? So that you can kind of pass a certain part and it's like, okay, I can move on. And I have to do something else. The other thing is the pause is kind of annoying. But anyway, whatever. But as far as the gameplay, it's good. I didn't have any problem with the gameplay. It seemed like the gameplay was fine. It didn't seem any different to me. It feels much like the other ones. You still have like the shield things that you can use and all that stuff still there. So yeah, it's good. It's cool. But I've only played like the first mission. I think I've done the first mission in the campaign. I'm not the multiplayer dude. I've told you that, guys. I don't care. So this is why I totally skipped Battlefield 6 altogether. So I'm like, I hear the campaign is not so good. I'm like, well, if the campaign's not so good, I'm done with you. I don't care. So it's likely I will never play that game.
That's the funny part, Harky. That's the funny part. That's the funny part. That the Battlefield campaign is not good either, and Call of Duty campaign is not good either. Multiplayer Battlefield is awesome. Multiplayer in Call of Duty is awesome. On top of that, you get another mode, which is zombies, that Battlefield don't give you. And you got Warzone as well as Call of Duty. And Call of Duty gets cooked and Battlefield doesn't.
Well, of course,
it has another mode, the arcade, the arcade game that it has as well.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like people need to start grifting and give these devs a proper feedback so they can fix the game.
Look, ultimately, I don't think any of that matters. All this is noise. The people who listen to this is very little. The people who play Call of Duty don't care about any of this like conversation, right?
Thanks.
They're just gonna go play their Call of Duty. And the usual answer is like, by about this time, they start looking at when's the next Call of Duty coming out. Let me go buy it. They don't even pay attention to the commercial. It doesn't matter. They know it's coming every year. And there's like that holiday season. They're just going to go buy it and play it. That's what happens. It doesn't matter. They're going to pay.
It's a tradition. They know that
it's like, oh, it's Turkey Day. Year. Where's my Call of Duty? It just doesn't. It is what it is, right?
Yep.
That's just
Black
what's
Friday. They're going to go get it.
Yeah, they're going to buy it. They're going to play it. Who cares?
To a quick thing to your point right now, though, one of the things that we didn't talk about in the Sarah Bond interview, I don't know if you remember that when we talked about it, either this last week on this show or something like that. But whenever we talked about the Sarah Bond interview, and she was talking about the next console and all that stuff. But in that interview, I didn't bring it up when we were talking about it, partly because I kind of forgot. But what you just said brought it to my mind, which is they are saying that they are listening, right? They're listening, but they take what they hear and then they go back and see what you do. So all the people talking all this shit and then going right on Call of Duty to play, fuck you, your feedback. You're talking shit, but you're living that life. So you're not giving them, you're just talking. And that's what I love. And she said that across everything, every part of what they're doing. And she made it her point to say it. That's what I love, is that she made it her point to let them know that, yeah, we're listening, but we're also watching the results, seeing the reality, not your not the noise, seeing what's true, right? That is what they're doing. And I love that, because I feel like before, where all the missteps they made were from listening to feedback without actually looking at what the reality was going to be.
Facts.
Like they should have released the Xbox One as is, and then make the change if something needed to, like if no one really showed up and no one was engaging and no one was playing. But they fucking punked them, right? And now they're not doing that. So now they listen, sure, but they're actually watching and they're adjusting based off of that. So go ahead, continue. Sorry, Harry.
Yeah, no. So like, I don't really have too much more. I think Call of Duty will end up doing reasonably well. I don't think it's gonna it's not like it's gonna. What does flop mean? Like what is flop? Right? It's still gonna sell well.
Closer to number 2 than it was last time.
You see, you see the charts in a couple of months. You see the charts. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's gonna do fine. It's gonna do fine. And
listen, if you go on there and all of a sudden Call of Duty is number 10 and is not being played every week, then you're gonna throw up some alarms. Then you're gonna have some problems. If the same amount, if people are still buying that shit more than anything else, even if less people buy it, if you're still seeing Call of Duty played every single week, number 1 or number 2. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, so like, I'm not worried about that. I'm actually happy that Battlefield 6 is doing well. That's a good thing. We want to have more competition. Let's have it go push each other. That's great. I love that Arc Raiders is out there coming out of nowhere saying, how you doing? How you doing, guys? and taking up everything. That's awesome. You know why? Because then that means the others will have to do something to match it and try to make enough of an equivalency or whatever to capture the market back. That's good. That's what you want, right? So this is good for everybody that there are more games like it. I don't know if Marathon will come in and help at all, but whatever, right? So the more games that do this, great, right? So, and we'd have the stickiness to like Fortnite, like you were mentioning, Fortnite, like a little bit of Apex, a little bit of whatever other multiplayers people usually play, right? And then the big dogs, right? You got Call of Duty and the World of Warcrafts and all that, like whatever, that's fine. And then here comes and we don't mention these ones because they don't get tracked as much. I don't know why. But you still have CS:GO. It's still out there.
Oh yeah.
You still have what are the Riot games like Valorant and what's the other one? Whatever, League of Legends, right? Those things also just keep going. PUBG, you might not remember, but like PUBG is still like a freaking huge
they have
game.
a new game. They have a new game coming out.
So
they have a new game. They put G people, and it's gonna be extraction shooter.
So so there's those continue to keep driving, right? So like all that's there, but that they're PC based mostly, and therefore you don't get to see them in these metrics. And a lot of them are free to play, right? So, but either way, that is stuff that
it's funny when you say free PC only. It just makes me remember that you can play it on your Xbox.
The next box, right? We'll call it the next box.
Your Xbox,
yes, on the next box you will be able to play those, right? But again, it opens up a whole new world, right? So, and we'll talk about Steam Machine that'll be a fun one too. But anyway, so there's a lot of these kind of games, and it's good to have disruption. That's great. Hopefully that, and look, we've had disruptions here and there. The question is, do they have legs, right? So if they do, that's great. If it's not, then maybe they teach the other big dogs what to do. But you want to have those disruptors, which is great. So like Battlefield doing well, that's awesome. I Vince. That guy is crazy, right? He just like constantly keeps making bangers. That's awesome, right? Hopefully they like some just don't do commercially well, but most of them have done pretty well. But some of them have, like Titanfall 2, unfortunately didn't go anywhere. But good game, right? But unfortunately, hey, another hit. That's awesome news. We'll see what they do from here. And yeah, COD. Again, I show me the numbers. Next year, what do we have? Like, what does it actually mean? And I think Demo, you called it. Like, they have constant content, and people come, they just go, and they keep playing. It is what it is.
Built for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not their first rodeo. They're built to make content.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Guys,
all year long.
Do you guys remember X Defiant?
It's gone.
Yeah. Do you
There's
guys
so
remember?
many that came. So many good games that came and went.
Do you guys remember Splitgate 2? Right? All of these people who in the past went ahead and this Call of Duty, what happened to them? Okay. So Call of Duty is a big bully, 50 Cent up in Quimpich. So listen, put some respect on Call of Duty name. Don't ever underestimate how addictive Call of Duty is, because even though people might tell you it suck, behind closed doors they go ahead and play, because I don't know why this game flopped and I'm finding games in like 5 seconds. I don't know why this game flopped, and all I see on Twitch, all I see on YouTube is Call of Duty gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. People talk about decline in player base, right? But I don't see any decline in player base like that. In fact, it might be funny if more people are playing Call of Duty now than before, thanks to Game Pass. Guys, pay attention. It's not all about like sales and stuff like that. It's about, look, if you go now and look at Battlefield numbers on Steam, which is what they use to stomp on Call of Duty, they down. They down. They not over 700,000 players anymore playing. There's about 200,000 players playing now.
Again,
so think about it. Harky said it. Let's see if these games had legs to compete with Call of Duty.
Exactly.
Because you could beat, Usain Bolt at the beginning of the race, but you know who's gonna win at the end. Let's just leave it at that.